So this is part two of a two-part video. I encourage you to watch the first part to get some foundational information. But let me connect to the last thing I said in part one, and that is that people are looking at Christians and often rejecting Christianity because of the actions and beliefs of people who profess to be Christians. But often the response is, who are you to judge? Or who are you to say which one is correct, which Christianity is correct, or which Islam is correct? And what's interesting about that is that they don't understand the irony of that. It's like the person who says there's no such thing as absolute truth, and their declaration itself cannot be true then. If there's no such thing as absolute truth, then what they just said is not true. But I understand why people look at Christianity the way it's portrayed so often and think, I don't want anything to do with that. But the root of it is that we as human beings don't like being told what to do, how to believe, how to live. We don't like that. There's an inherent defense mechanism when anything or anyone tells us you can't do that. And religion in general has that kind of constraint to it. It's not okay to do this. It's not okay to do that. And as human beings, we think, don't tell me what to do. And again, the irony is sometimes the people who say, you can't tell me what to do are trying to tell us what to do, but that's a whole nother video, maybe part 3. But I want to encourage you with something. I get it. I understand why people don't like the form of Christianity that we see, especially these days. But I would encourage you to go back to the original source, the New Testament. Now, the Old Testament is linked to it, but that's a theological discussion for another time. The New Testament, the Jesus of the New Testament, what did he teach? How did he live? How did he call his disciples to live? And I'm trying my best to be that. I've shared this before. 1 John 2:6 says, those who claim to be followers of that Jesus should live as he lived. And that does involve boundaries. It involves constraint, discipline, a certain specific belief system. But the Christian haters, the people who hate Christianity or hate religion in general, while I understand why you do that, I would just encourage you to maybe go to the source and see what those of us who are biblical Christians are trying to do. We're trying to live the way he lived and trying to share the gospel as he shared it. We're not trying to make anyone do anything. It's an invitation. It's an invitation. It's an invitation. It's an invitation. And if you don't want to accept the invitation, that's the freedom that you have. Anyway, I look forward to your comments.